And this is the Board of Neighborhood Commissioners. That this meeting is being recorded. I would like to introduce the staff supporting this meeting and identify their roles. They will be heard speaking during the course of the meeting. Daniel Johnson will act as the meeting moderator. He will announce when it is time for public comment, accept comment cards from those present today, and unmute participants who wish to speak. He will conduct a vote by a voice roll call on the board as needed. Mario Gomez, he will provide technical support. For everyone listening to our Board of Neighborhood Commissioners meeting via Zoom, the meeting moderator has muted all attendees and will unmute speakers when called upon to give public comment. Okay, we've already gone through that. During the meeting today, we will discuss the items listed on the meeting agenda in numerical order unless I receive a request from a board member to take an item out of order. If any board member has a conflict of interest at the time an agenda item is announced for discussion, the board member should identify the general nature of the conflict, indicate that they are recusing themselves from participating in the matter, and leave the meeting session during the duration of the discussion of the item. Before we make a decision on any item, members of the public will have an opportunity to provide comments on the item under consideration. A member of the public wishing to speak on, let me get to this, okay. A member of the public wishing to speak on more than one agenda item, excluding general public comment, at a single meeting shall limit their remarks to a total of 5 minutes per meeting. Members of the public who want to speak on multiple agenda items, up to 5 minutes per meeting at one time, may choose to speak during the multiple agenda items comment period. Members of the public who are attending in person will be given the opportunity to speak first, followed by members of the public who wish to comment on Zoom. If you have a general comment on an item that is not listed on the agenda, you may provide your comment during the general public comments portion of the meeting. General public comment is limited to 15 minutes maximum. At the discretion of the presiding officer of the board, an individual speaker will not be allowed more than 2 minutes during general public comment, and that may be adjusted by the chair. General public comment should be directed to the board rather than to individuals. Please understand that there are applicable laws that limit the actions we may take during today's meeting. Thus, we may be legally prohibited from acting on a concern that you have expressed. However, your concern may become the topic of discussion at a future board meeting after we've had the chance to list the item on the agenda. On behalf of the Board of Neighborhood Commissioners, we do not condone disrespectful or harmful speech. We denounce this behavior and apologize in advance to those attending this meeting who may hear such language during public comment. We are obligated to uphold an individual's right to free speech. However, let me be clear. All comments made at this meeting must be within the jurisdiction of this body, directed to this body as a whole, and if made during any time other than general public comment, must be specific in nature to an agenda item. Multiple agenda items comment period for one or multiple items on the agenda will occur during number 4 of today's agenda. General public comment will occur during item number 5 on today's agenda. When the agenda item is open to public comment, the moderator will provide instructions for Zoom and telephone attendees to be recognized and will allow comments on a first come, first served basis. To facilitate the orderly process of public comment and to assist the board in conducting business as efficiently as possible, a member of the public who attends in person and wishes to speak on the agendized matter or during general public comment is requested to complete and submit a speaker card to the moderator. Individuals will be called in the order in which the speaker cards are submitted. Individuals who have submitted speaker cards will be the first to speak during today's meeting, followed by Zoom and telephone participants. For public comment by members of the public participating via Zoom or telephone, the moderator will advise them when their time for comment has concluded and proceed to mute the commentator. For multiple agenda items, the moderator will ask which agenda items they will speak on, how much of the 5 minutes they will use. The commentator will answer the questions, followed by the moderator requesting that they state their name for the record and proceed with their comments. Pursuant to the City of Los Angeles Administrative Code, if a neighborhood council CIS or written resolution pertains to an item listed on the commission's agenda, during the time the item is heard, the designated neighborhood council representative will have an opportunity to present the neighborhood council's formal position. At the chair's discretion, the chair may ask the neighborhood council representative to be promoted as a panelist if they are participating on Zoom or telephone. The chair may also provide neighborhood council representative more time than allotted to members of the general public. Please note that if the commission has received a CIS on an agenda item, there is a notation under the agenda item that allows time for submitting neighborhood council to speak, which is separate from public comment. If the CIS or resolution pertains to a matter that is not listed on the agenda, the designated neighborhood council representative may speak during general public comments. That should do it. Okay. I'm going to, I don't think we need to go for that. What I'm going to ask is that we take a roll call so the meeting can be called.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Tuesday, December 2nd, 2025. It is currently 1:23 p.m. And I'm going to call roll. President Schaefer.
Here.
Commissioner Atkinson.
Here.
Commissioner Irving. Here. Commissioner Epard.
Here.
We have 1, 2, 3, 4 commissioners present and 1, 2, 3 absent. We have 4.
Okay, just for the record, Commissioner Wiebe, Commissioner Quiroz, and Commissioner Waters are absent. All right. We have minutes of November 17th, 2025. I would take a motion with regard to approval of those minutes.
Commissioner Everhart moves.
Commissioner Irving seconds.
We have a motion on the floor with regard to the meeting minutes from November 17th, 2025. Commissioner Eberhard moving, Commissioner Irving seconding. Any comment by the commission? Public comment.
Just a second. Okay, agenda item 3 is now open for public comment. If you would like to comment and are on the telephone, press *9. If you're on the computer in the Zoom window, press the raise hand button at this time. If you are in person and have submitted a public comment card for this agenda item, your name will be called. When you are unmuted or are called for to speak, please clearly state your name for the record. Commission President, can you please confirm the time you'd like to designate for public comment?
Let's do, well, this is on the minutes, let's do 1 minute for the minutes.
Okay. For those who would like to do public comment, you have 1 minute to speak on the item. So we're going to start. Okay. We currently have none public comments in the house. We're going to refer to our Zoom attendee list. Commenter Audit LA, please state your name. You have 1 minute for public comment. And please, just a second.
Daniel, this is very
Audit
confusing.
LA, you have 1 minute. Please
Wait,
state your
now
name
hold
and
up. Don't start my time yet. I want to speak on all the items. It gets very confusing. So is this only for the minutes? And I think, I know like myself, I just want everything on multiple, like where I can talk about everything for the full 5 minutes.
Audit LA, I just want you to know we're currently on the agenda minutes for the last meeting. Agenda item 3.
Okay, I think most people just go into these meetings and they raise their hand for public comment, but I want the one where it's 5 minutes.
Thank you. So, just to repeat, we are currently on agenda item 3, the approval of minutes of the meeting for November 17th, 2025. Online user Sandra, I'm going to unmute. Please state your name for the record and begin.
Hi, I too agree with that audit. I actually would like all agenda items, not just the minutes. Thank you.
Thank you. So for the record, I'm going to repeat it one more time. If you currently have your hand up, I would like to remind folks that you're requesting to give public comment on agenda item 3, the approval of minutes of the meeting on November 17, 2025. A public comment with the telephone number ending in 258. Please introduce yourself. And
Hi,
speak.
Commissioners. Yes, can you hear me? Hi, can you hear me? Okay. I'm so sorry, Commissioners. I'm driving. I was trying to get to the meeting. I wanted to speak on the next item, the general comment. So I'm calling in, so I wasn't sure how to remove that.
Commission President, we have no public comment at the time. Thank you.
Okay. Matters on the floor with regard to approval of the minutes. A roll call, please.
Roll call for agenda item 3, approval of minutes for the meeting of November 17th, 2025. Commission President Schaefer?
Yes.
Commissioner Atkinson?
Yes.
Commissioner Irving?
Yes.
Commissioner Eberhard?
Yes.
4 yeses, 0 nays. Motion carries.
All right, moving on. Item number 4, multiple agenda items. Comments by members of the public who want to speak on multiple agenda items for up to 5 minutes at one time can choose to speak during the multiple agenda items comment period. Members of the public who choose to speak during the multiple agenda items period will be given the opportunity to speak during general public comments. If you're going to speak during this, you will have to identify the specific agenda items that you wish to speak to up to 5 minutes and conform your comments to those specific agenda items.
Agenda item 4 is now open for public comment. If you would like to comment and are on the telephone, press star 9. If you are on the computer in the Zoom window, press the raise hand button at this time. If you are in person and have submitted a comment card for this agenda item, your name will be called. When you are unmuted or called for to speak, please clearly state your name for the record. For the record, we have no public comments in-house. We're going to move over to our Zoom attendee list. Commenter Sandra, please state your name for the record and which agenda items you would like to speak on, and please begin.
Thank you. My name is Sandra, and I would like to speak on all agenda items, please. Good afternoon.
Excuse me, does that include number 1, number 2, and number 3?
All agenda items?
Going to speak on and then begin speaking?
Oh, I can't. Sorry, I am having technical issues with my computer, so I'm on my phone right now, and I can't see the actual document.
And how did you know which items you're going to be speaking on?
Well, because I'm making a general public comment.
No, this is not general public comment. This is multiple agenda items, and you're supposed to identify the items you wish to speak on.
Then I apologize. I'll put my hand back down.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Commenter Auditor Lay, please state your name for the record, which agenda items you would like to speak on, and begin.
Good afternoon. I would want to start with, I guess, the meeting minutes just for a few seconds. I came last time, and I hope it's posted that I reminded you guys that there may be callers calling in who have trauma, who have PTSD, and that you need to make this a safe space for everyone calling. It's already extremely confusing for somebody like myself who's very knowledgeable in city meetings and neighborhood council meetings. Yours is the most confusing setup I have ever seen in my life. And if I can hardly navigate it, I can't imagine people who are new to this. So please be mindful of that and give people a break, and because this is very confusing. Okay, now I want to move to number 6, November community events. I went to a neighborhood council, Northridge East, their neighborhood council meeting. I feel bad for the president's challenge in that, but I also have some concerns, okay? Because I know the president of that one has been very loud about not letting the neighborhood councils want to be able to speak up on anything that's not city related, okay? Like, he's been making a lot of claims saying that they're violating city charter and all that. But his meeting is creating an ad hoc committee dealing with the university there, which is not part of the city. It's a state university. And so I don't know how they can have an ad hoc committee dealing with the issues of a soccer stadium. So and that goes to the rules, I guess. I guess if you guys, and maybe I'm not trying to say that he's doing anything wrong, but just as a person who, it's very confusing that rules for one is maybe not rules for the other. So if you guys could make a formal statement on where you stand and if it's the same kind of thing or not, I'd like to know. I also want to talk about, I guess, the code of conduct or any kind of censure or removal. Also with that meeting, I want to discuss, and I do feel very bad for Mr. Bailey in this situation, that his one committee, I believe it's the homeless committee, they have to disband because the two co-chairs cannot get along. And the one co-chair was very immature, babyish, it was so utterly ridiculous, and he's demanding that they both quit. and all this stuff, where the other one wants mediation. And which makes sense, right? That's the grown-up way we mediate. But the other one's like, no, I refuse to talk to her. It's ridiculous. So please help him out. Please give his thing guidance, because it was so embarrassing. Like, I was embarrassed for him and for their board. They don't deserve that. Whoever that one guy is, I don't remember his name. He should be ashamed of himself, and he should grow up and learn how to be a grown-up and have a mediation, because we have a lot of unhoused individuals here in the city, and they really need a good committee, and and that one person's holding it hostage. Let me see, as far as charter reform, I would like to see you guys put in, like, I feel that the city has consistently been trying to take away the power and the voice of the neighborhood councils, whether it's changing rules to what they no longer have any kind of oversight to, taking away their budgets. You say, you encourage them to join the budget advocates, but their budgets are dwindling to where they don't, have much say anymore. And as far as the rule for I can't think of the Brown Act update, I know that my friend Henry Marini is going to be speaking on that more eloquently than I can. But you should not be charging. It turns out you should not be charging the neighborhood councils for the Zoom. Okay, it is required by law. The city needs to eat up that whatever the cost it is. And the neighborhood councils, they already had a bare minimum budget, which is the lowest probably ever, and it's since its inception, I'm guessing. And they should be able to, especially now that it's required, you should give them more access. They should not be paying for rent. That should be in the charter. They should not have to pay for rent. If they're in a city environment, why are they paying for rent? And it's, and I think that.
Thank you. Your time is ended. Commenter Henry, if you can please put your name for the record and the items you'd like to speak on, and then begin.
Good afternoon, Henry Marini speaking on behalf of myself. I'd like to make comment on all agenda items. I'll start with the approval of the meeting minutes. I just want to, again, push the board to continue setting the role model in a positive fashion for including a summary of the comments made by folks that public comment period. Every other council and commission could learn a lot. I applaud you for that. I want to talk about the communication regarding the budget advocates. It is true, and I just actually sent over the lawfully obtained through the CPRA records regarding the proof and validation that the teleconferencing platform is in fact free. I do hope you take a look at those sworn statements by the city obtained through the CPRA that yes, in fact, the budget advocates should be advocating for the city to reimburse each of the neighborhood councils that have incurred any sort of teleconferencing platform cost, whether it be subscription based or anything else of the sort. The neighborhood councils should not be fronting that cost, regardless of how much you think is a insignificant amount. $200 or anything to the sort is still money that the public is entitled to, rather than the city swallowing.
Excuse me. Could you please, I'm holding your time. Could you please identify the agenda item you're referring to with this?
Yes. So this would have been the 7, and the one I was just talking about was number 3. So on agenda item number 7, the Charter Reform Commission, there's an update on SB 707 as stated on agenda item number 6. And one of the things that I've talked to this board about is the fact that, again, through lawfully obtained CPRAs, the Charter Commission is still not taking virtual public comment. And it's a disgrace because it does not allow any of the NC members, either as an official capacity or in their individual capacity, to actually attend and even notify and properly make a presence, regardless of whether they support or are against any of the items being discussed at the Charter Reform Commission. And SB 707 has already given a final deadline for when people have to adhere and comply, but that doesn't mean that you should be pushing off that adherence and compliance to offering virtual participation. It is true, including that same commission, that they are already in full compliance and can already take virtual public comment. And it's actually a shame that they even, on their own agenda, show that you can actually have a call-in option, but they will not allow you to offer public comment. And that's an absolute disgrace. It's not fair to the NCs. It's not fair to the constituents of the neighborhood councils. And I sincerely hope that regardless of what you think about any of the commenters or any of the way that the city operates, it's the public's entitlement and right to petition their government in an accessible and equitable way, and virtual public comment offers that. Moving on to the matter of digital communication policy, item number 8, I think it's important that this gets a refresh and includes the fact that this day and age, there are possible issues of a ad hoc quorum being established via virtual groups, and it's important to rein in and actually educate, not just be punishment, but actually educate people, educate board members, and educate each of the neighborhood councils on things to watch out for when they do establish virtual groups, to be cautious of the fact that they can in fact establish a accidental quorum and be talking about official things in an official capacity that they otherwise might have not intended so. On that same subject, it's important that it also be reflected on the opinion piece that NCs, by charter, in fact, do have the authority to make and issue declarations about any and all city matters, not just via the CIS channel, but the fact that any of the neighborhood councils can, whether it be support or against any of the particular actions or behaviors within the city as well as the county, as the city is in fact a body incorporated under the county as well. And so whether that be actions for or against actions by particular government officials, this board should recognize and have an official letter be declared and an amendment be applied to reflect that the neighborhood councils do have the autonomy to declare and petition such letters, regardless if it's in the official CIS capacity or not. And I'll yield the rest of my time for general public comment.
Thank you. Your time is ended. Comment to Yvonne. Please state your name for the record, the agenda items you'd like to speak on, and you have 5 minutes.
Thank you. I'd like to speak on 6A, and I'm going to start there, but I will try to get down to number 9 also. Well, in general, I'm going to start in that when I'm faced with an agenda such as this, the November community events, we are now discussing something that is past tense. And I would hope that something that is past tense can have an outline of the topics, subtopics within that, so that I, as a participant, am better informed and can communicate clearer thoughts. My concern is that the neighborhood councils are not being provided ample time to approve activities, special events in their communities in a way to say yes or no or express their concerns. These are economic decisions for their localized community, and better communication, earlier communication will increase participation. Next one is the 707. Absolutely get ready for changes. People are relying more and more on online communications. We now have a different concept of time and place, and this media is a place now. The budgets. Please know that it's my belief that the budgets of a neighborhood council and you collectively want to see the basics covered first. And that means the lights, the streets, the sidewalks, and your government functions. Government functions does not include building the added debt, the convention center, when you haven't got streets and lights and sidewalks covered. You are crippled by having large non-tax-paying Scientology specifically in your economic stew, and they don't create the circulation of funds within the city. All of their revenues are spent or delivered outside of the state, let alone outside the city. So please understand that the frustrations that are concerning human rights violations also have economic, budgetary effects. The city should not be going into debt when they can't handle their lights and streets and sidewalks. The city shouldn't be going into debt or having an association or a great tie or favor to organizations that aren't paying taxes. And the neighborhood councils see this happening, and it degrades their neighborhoods economically. Number 9. Oh yes, the calendars and dates. Again, that number 9, please give your neighborhood councils ample time to be able to respond in a timely manner and hold the city agencies to the sequence of schedules so that neighborhood councils can actually have input in the decision making for decision making on decisions that impact their neighborhoods. Example being the parade. I don't think that the neighborhood council had a chance to evaluate the parade permit if there was a parade permit even issued, or any other special event that gets issued. Please give the neighborhood councils the time allowable that they need to be able to have input to the running of their neighborhood.
Thank you. The time has ended. Commenter with the telephone ending in 258. Please state your name for the record and begin, as well as state the agenda items you'd like to speak on.
Hi, Commissioners. Yes, item number 5, 6, and 7.
Thank you.
Yes.
Can't do number 5.
Oh,
Do I
You can't
begin
speak.
now?
No, I just would like to correct it. You're speaking on multiple agenda items. That is agenda item 4. Public comment
No.
is agenda item separate from that. So you can speak on 6 and 7 if you would like.
Right, all 3 of those. The items, right, general public, because there was an item.
Just a second. I would like to repeat again. You're currently speaking on multiple agenda items. Agenda item 5 is public comment. That is a separate comment period that is not included with the multiple agenda items. So you are welcome to speak on agenda item 6 and 7 if you would like to.
6 and 7.
Yes, correct.
Thank you. You may begin. Yes.
I'm sorry, did you say I could begin?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Good afternoon, commissioners, and thank you for the opportunity to speak. I'm here today because the situation within the Encino Neighborhood Council has escalated to a level that requires immediate oversight from BONC. My name is Heather Michaels, and I am
Hold your time, please. Hold your time, please. Heather Michaels, which agenda item are you speaking to with regards to Encino?
I'll begin with number 6.
Okay. and is there
Code of
something on-
conduct.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I'd like to continue. I'm here today because the situation within the Encino Neighborhood Council has escalated to a level that requires the assistance from BONC, immediate oversight. In recent weeks, I've raised legitimate, well-documented concerns about the governance issues relating to transparency, due process, code of conduct, and various violations of both the Brown Act and, as I mentioned, code of conduct. In response, I have been met with clear retaliation by our president. It's not a misunderstanding and it's not an isolated conflict. I had sent the commissioners an email in advance, was sent to you yesterday. The newly elected president has begun targeting me and others simply for asking for accountability. His push for a censure against me is part of a broad pattern of silencing board members who question improper actions. Dunn has already advised the president not to pursue a censor. Despite that written guidance, he placed it on this week's agenda anyway with the purpose to shame and humiliate me and another board member. I have also written documentation of statements indicating an intent to go after me and remove me from the council. This is retaliatory, it's disruptive, and it undermines the neighborhood council system. We have real urgent issues in our community: public safety, wildfires, infrastructure, vulnerable populations. Instead of focusing on service, we're being dragged into unnecessary retaliatory actions that erode public trust and sabotage the work that we are supposed to be doing. No board member should be targeted for raising legitimate government concerns. No president should ignore directives, and no council should be permitted to operate under a threat of intimidation. I'm respectfully asking BONC to provide oversight and direction before this escalates any further. I have documentation for every concern mentioned today and can provide that at your request. Thank you so much for your time, your service, and your attention to this matter.
Thank you, Commissioner President. There's no more hands for public comment.
Thank you. We'll move on to general public comment. These are comments from the public on non-agenda items within the board's subject matter jurisdiction. Debating on time. No individual will be, speaker will be allowed more than 2 minutes. And I'm going to reiterate that this must be within this commission's subject matter jurisdiction.
Thank you, Commissioner President. Agenda item number 5, general public comment. It's open for public comment. If you would like to comment and are on the telephone, press *9. If you're on the computer in the Zoom window, press the raise hand button at this time. If you're in person and have submitted a comment card for this agenda item, your name will be called. When you are unmuted or are called for to speak, please clearly state your name for the record. Each commenter will have 2 minutes to give public comment. We're going to start in-house with comment to Kay Hartman. Kay Hartman, you have 2 minutes. When you're ready, please state your name and begin.
Thank you. My name is Kay Hartman, Palms Neighborhood Council, speaking for myself. So I want to talk a little bit about the event that I'm trying to have, but it being thwarted by the city clerk. So we wanted to have a Metro ride-along and go from Palm Station to the new LAX connection. And the event was declined by the city clerk for 3 reasons. One reason was they said it wasn't valid outreach, which I argued on and think I won. And then the next one was, you can't provide transportation to people. We were gonna buy tap cards. I'm like, this is not providing transportation to people. This is, the transportation is the event. But I said, I didn't argue it, even though it was stupid. I just said, okay, we won't buy anybody a tap card, because like really. And then the third reason was that it was too risky. And so I discussed this directly with Councilmember Yaroslavsky, and she thought it was outrageous, and she said, why don't you and I just do one like ourselves? But like, truthfully, how would I find people to come? Because my social media following is small. I would have to use my neighborhood council social media, which I cannot do if it's not a neighborhood council event. So I actually brought it up to Mayor Bass. She also found it pretty outrageous, and her team has been working to try to find a way to make it happen. And I appreciate that. But it's crazy that I can't, we have to like do now, it's like Metro's gonna sponsor, and then we'll be like a co-host, but now Metro is like, oh, we got other crap to do. And so this needs to be fixed, because it's just absolutely ridiculous. Thank you.
Thank you. We have no more public comment in the House. We're going to move over to our Zoom attendee list. And we're going to begin with a caller, Audit LA. Audit LA, please state your name for the record and begin. You have 2 minutes.
That's Audit LA, and may I fix it for Ms. Hartman? Don't make her go through that. But I'm here to speak to this board and to Mr. Schaefer. I sent an email through Daniel. I don't know if you've had a chance to read it, but we've been coming here for a long time discussing the problems of Scientology, and we keep getting called off topic and all this stuff. It's on topic because they're everywhere, and so that it touches a lot of neighborhood council territories. And I especially want to ask the president, Len Schaefer, to also step up, because, sir, you were in the Allard case and you did the right thing as the...
Excuse me. The instructions are that you address this to the board as a whole and not to any individual. Thank you. Restart her. No, don't restart her time, but you can go on.
I am on topic. It's not a topic, sir. Stop interrupting me. Stop interrupting me, okay? I am going to call you out because you're calling us off topic when we come talking about Scientology, dealing with the neighborhood councils, okay? And it is relevant, and you know firsthand it's relevant. You know we're not making this stuff up. You know why the people who were there are...
Would you? I'm going to warn you one last time. You are to address this commission as a whole and no specific individual, and you have to have it within our jurisdiction as to what we might do.
The Audit LA, I've requested to unmute.
Okay, the board understands, they're smart enough to understand that I am saying that it is a neighborhood council issue because Scientology is one of, if not the biggest landowners in Los Angeles. It touches many neighborhood councils, if not all of them. So it's really relevant, okay? And the fact that there's a president of this board who's very aware of Scientology and what they're capable of and what they do and what they're about, very.
Thank you. Your time is ended. Next caller, Sandra, please state your name for the record and begin.
Hello, thank you. Sandra, I am Sandra. I am actually calling because I follow these meetings and I hear the problems with Scientology, and I'm perfectly aware of these problems with Scientology. They receive endless permits. They do not follow protocol when applying. Their last permit, they applied for about 8 days before, and they're supposed to apply 45 days before.
Excuse me. We are not in charge of permits for anything in this city. If you wish to address us on something within our jurisdiction, please do so. You may continue. Thank you.
Thank you. I was just making a contrast and comparison. Thank you. I see Scientology disrespecting the rules and regulations of all the city councils. They do not follow up with the neighborhood councils on any of the policies that they're supposed to, particularly when it comes to permits. They're supposed to let everybody know what is going on in the neighborhood. Are you aware that this is a criminal organization that ran child slave camps here in Los Angeles? Just wanted to check. I am aware that one of your members is fully informed as to the behaviors of Scientology, and I'm just concerned that their behavior is bullying and the scare tactics are used. Financial funding is being used to curtail any particular situations that you guys can put your hands in and do something about. They are bullies. My mother taught me not to back off from bullies. L. Ron Hubbard Way was designated a non-parking street, not by the city, but by Scientology. So perhaps maybe you could work with the neighborhood councils and get that corrected and put it back to Berendo. Just a suggestion. Don't let your neighborhood become Scientology's next victims. These neighborhoods need to petition, have that street name changed. Thank you, and I yield back my time.
Thank you. Public commenter Henry, please state your name for the record and you may begin.
Good afternoon, Henry Marini speaking on behalf of myself. I want to invite you Monday, December 8th, first hearing on a writ of mandamus petition at the Riverside County. First hearing regarding the death of a woman under the care of Scientology. You're all invited. I want to move to talk about...
Just a second. Calling user Henry. I would like for you to restate what you're saying. You sound very muffled and it's hard for us to hear you in-house. I'm asking you to unmute.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. I was restating the invitation for a public event on Monday, December 8th. You're invited. It's the first hearing on a mandamus petition for the release of records regarding the death of a woman under the care of Scientology. I want to talk about the issue of while not on the agenda, it is very relevant to the board, which is a particular neighborhood council member who's frankly creating an incredibly hostile work environment. And it's already been on a topic discussed by several other members where this individual is either having delusions of grandeur, truly having some sort of 5150 episode, and is genuinely not mentally fit for the role, because the issue of individual neighborhood council members being under air quotes investigation has already been dispelled by the Dunn department, officially, formally, on a public hearing. And so that needs to be addressed. That is improper, it is highly unbecoming, and it is completely against all of the ethics and code of conduct that this board, as well as every other board member in the entire institution of the neighborhood council, is supposed to abide by. So Glenn Bailey really needs to be put in check and addressed because I'm tired of hearing about it. And all my sources on the inside of the city attorney's office are also confirming that there is no investigation. So we just need to move on from this issue. It needs to be addressed. He's either not fit for the role or needs serious mediation, and this board needs to seriously address that issue. Thank you.
Thank you. Call-in user Glenn Bailey. Please state your name for the record and begin.
Thank you. Glenn Bailey speaking as an individual. Well, I guess this is good timing. So I want to make it very clear that when I referenced that the Greater Toluca Lake Neighborhood Council was under investigation, it was because of a comment that was made at a public meeting of a neighborhood council by an NEA. That was later determined that that was an improper word, but I was just the messenger in sharing that. But that was in reference to actions that the Greater Toluca Lake Neighborhood Council took in directly taking a position regarding state legislation directly to the state legislature in violation of Administrative Code Section 2.19. And that was the context of my comments, and then their subsequent resolution that they've sent out to the neighborhood councils advocating that neighborhood councils take positions in violation of that administrative code without referencing it and without referencing the underlying city code section number. Moving to a other comment with regards to Northridge East Neighborhood Council, let me just say that the ad hoc committee that was created, while it was in response to a facility on the campus of Cal State Northridge, it is focused on the impacts that that facility may or may not have with regards to the directly adjacent across the street in terms of traffic, noise, light pollution, etc. So we are not focused. We are focusing on the impact on the areas that are not state property. Lastly, I want to comment with regards to the censure policy, which I will try to do during the ad hoc committee, but very specifically, you've heard about Encino Neighborhood Council. I think when the department says that the two censures.
Thank you. Your time is ended. Calling user Mian, please state your name for the record and begin.
Hi, this is Miriam. I would also like to raise the topic once again of neighborhood councils having representation from the Church of Scientology. They are not representatives of themselves or the neighborhood, but slave labor of an organized criminal mafia, basically. We have to remember that this organization is responsible for the largest infiltration in the US government back in the 70s. And what they are doing is trying to whitewash their operations and have their hands in.
Excuse me. Once again, I'm going to have to point out that even general public comment must be directed to something within our jurisdictional efforts. In other words, something that we can do or some policy we can make. And I can tell you that we cannot make policy as to who or may not be on the neighborhood council board. Please continue to direct your comments with that idea in mind.
Thank you. I understand that you have no impact on whether you have members from a religious cult. I just want to inform that they are there and they are not having genuine plans when it comes to LA neighborhoods. I yield back my time.
Laura, please state your name for the record and begin.
Hi, my name is Laura Anderson, and I'm just doing general public comment. And I was there in person. Everybody there, Leonard, you guys all met me. I was born and raised in Scientology. I want to join the board, the neighborhood council, perhaps the Northeast, perhaps Hollywood. And so, yeah, it may seem off topic, but there's a bunch of concern when there are children that were born and raised that are fighting for rights of people in the cult of Scientology that want to join the neighborhood council boards. And they feel threatened because you have people like Janet Whelan who are exposing people's, personal information and getting me fired from my job and stuff like that to keep us off the boards. So it is an issue. You can't say that, oh, well, we can't talk about having anybody on the board that's, a Scientologist or a Christian or whatever. But when somebody who's specifically on the board just to do that, not for themselves, not as a personal thing, they do it just to get Scientology's dirty tricks done, then it becomes an issue, especially when I was a child born and raised doing this type of stuff as an executive and infiltrating the city. So please be aware that there are people that were part of Scientology that are speaking up that would like to be a part of the city and a part of the neighborhood council boards, and they feel threatened. They feel harassed. They feel they're going to get their jobs lost even if they try to work for the city. So let that be said for the record. I'll yield my time.
Thank you. Calling user Yvonne, please state your name for the record and begin. Once again, calling user Yvonne, please state your name for the record and begin.
Hello, this is Yvonne. And I would like to reiterate, it is within the purview of this board to assure that the neighborhood councils have adequate time to approve special events permits. And it's the policies and procedures of the various issuing permits departments that you need to take action with. That is your responsibility to make sure that your neighborhood councils have adequate time in the calendar of the process to approve or disapprove special event permits. Thank you.
Thank you. Calling user Sharon Brewer, please state your name for the record and begin.
Sharon Brewer. Once again, I would like to see if Bonk could come up with a policy regarding supporting documents for neighborhood council meetings. That when that there's like a link on the agenda, and also that link goes to documents that are uploaded no later than 12 hours before the meeting, not day of the meeting, 3 hours before the meeting, during the meeting. It is really hard for the public to go and keep track of these documents when they wait so long to do it. The agenda is sent out. Those documents should already be on the neighborhood council's website for people to go and look at and see if they want to take and attend the meeting. The other thing is, like I mentioned last time, about having some kind of list of what Bonk can and cannot deal with. A lot of the conversations today, again, were things you can't do, that the city council needs to do. But it's just the idea of people not understanding or misunderstanding what the Board of Neighborhood Council commissioners can do. And they need to take their issues to the right people that can actually help them. Thank you.
Thank you. Commission President, there are no more raised hands.
Okay, moving on to item number 6, General Manager's verbal report.
All right, well, thank you, Commission President. Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday and break. So, just wanted to share some updates as we've rounded out the month of November. Some of the community events that the department has showed up for and supported. As you all know, Neighborhood Council has hosted and participated in food giveaways all over the city. We thank you all for your time and service to Angelenos during this holiday season. In terms of events that we attended in